Look at you. You made it again to my channel. I am Kevin Robinson Jr. Thank you for tapping in. I'm going to get a sip of this good green tea out of this hustler mug, and we're going to get right into the game, all right? That's good shit. Well, if you haven't done so already, do me a favor. Hit that sub button. If you like anything I say here, hit that sub button, hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, put this on your Discord, your Reddit, wherever. You know what I mean? I would gratefully appreciate that. And look, we're going to get to the topic. So the topic is living beyond your means. Hella broke. Hella broke, living beyond your means, okay? So basically this, man, I got 10 different things right here that are signs that you living beyond your means. And if you grew up like me, you grew up with a scarcity mindset, and you practice vertical wealth, or you practice a vertical lifestyle, which is basically you start to make more money, and from that point on, you start to spend more money. Just because you're making more money, you might have went from making 50,000 a year, now you're making 85, 100,000 a year. So therefore, you start to spend more money. This generally happens to us that come from nothing. We try to we generally, and I know for me, when I first got into music in 10 years ago, or 14, 13 years ago, I went from making $1,500 a month to making ten to $15,000 a month. Some months it would be 15. Most months it would average out around 12,500. And I did that from 24 to about 31, working in music, and I started to spend more money. And I was living beyond my means, straight up. So when I lost it all years later, I had no assets. And that's number one. The first sign of you living beyond your means, you're hella broke, is you have zero assets. You have no real estate. You have no assets. You have no real estate. You have no stock portfolio. You have nothing. You must. I don't care if you only make 50,000 a year. You make 50,000 a year. You must get some assets. Must get some assets, and that leads into number two. You have a lot of debt. You have a lot of consumer debt. Consumer debt. So you have a car that you can't afford. You have, you have a car you can't afford. Your credit cards or limits are out of whack. You're behind on bills. There's ways. I'm not a credit expert, but I definitely have had bad credit at certain points in my life. I've had bad credit. And the way I fix my credit is you ain't got to hire nobody to do credit repair. You literally can go right here, YouTube University. There's a bunch of credit experts that show you how to get a dispute letter that you can send to the three different creditors: Experian, TransUnion, I forgot the other one. And you can send them a dispute letter disputing things on your um, credit report. And nine times out of 10, you'll be able to knock off a lot of it. So check that type of shit out. Get your credit, get your consumer credit in order. Number two, you spend first and you pay bills last. Now, see, wealthy people, and even if you're not wealthy yet, but you can learn from wealthy people. Wealthy people invest, pay bills, and then they spend what's left over. Now, see, when you grow up with a scarcity mindset, what you do is you tend to spend money first, as soon as you get paid. My father always said this. He's like, man, you got money. As soon as you get money, it's a hole in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, as soon as I get paid, I'm ready to spend. And even at 30, almost 38 years old, I'm gonna be 38 in probably about 2 months, September 22nd. I still have an issue when every time I get paid, I'm like, ooh, I want to buy this. But you gotta stop doing that. Gotta stop doing that. So if you're living beyond your means, you spend money first and you pay your bills last. You don't have no investments whatsoever. All right. Number three, hit that sub button. Number three is you have no financial statement. You don't know where the money goes every single month. You have no clue where your money goes. You just spend, and I'm telling you, all of this shit on here, this was me 10 years ago. I'm being brutally honest with you. I can relate to all of this shit on here 10 years ago. If you don't know better, you ain't gonna do better. You know what I'm saying? So, number 3, you have no financial statement. Now, a financial statement, and I learned this from Jim Rohn, is basically where you get a piece of paper, right? And you fold it in half, right? And what you do is on your left side, you put your assets. Right side, you put your liabilities. So your assets would be your job, which is what your income, whatever income you get. So if you do DoorDash and you have a job, and you have stocks, and you have this, and you have that, and you have intellectual properties, you put all that shit on this side. And then you have your liabilities on your right side. So your liabilities are all your bills. All of your bills. Rent, car note, medical, whatever you got. Now, generally, if you're living beyond your means, what's going to happen is when you subtract your income from your net worth, you subtract your, you subtract your net worth from your liabilities. What's going to happen is 9 times out of 10, most people are in a negative. You have a negative net worth. You feel me? So a lot of times people, they get paid and they pay their bills and they spend money and you don't even know where the money goes at the end of the month. I know most of you watching this can relate to that, you know, because I live like that. You know, I didn't have anybody teach me financial literacy. You know, I was kind of raised by wolves. My parents had me when they were 19 and nobody in my family's well off. What I mean by well off is, you know, 6 figures and above. And I've seen my family struggle most of my life. So nobody taught me this is how you pay your bills, this is how you do this is how you do that. So you must have a financial statement. So if you don't have a financial statement, you don't know where your money goes every month, you are living beyond your means. Number 4, I see this shit a lot. Now, when I was a kid, me and my parents used to go to Ross, Kmart, Walmart, Macy's, JCPenney's back in the day, Montgomery Wards. This is back in the day, 80s, 90s. And if they found something that they wanted, but they didn't have all the money for it, they'd put it on layaway. Now, the new 21st century layaway is Clara. Now, I know a lot of y'all do this, and I see this shit quite a bit. Now, I have my assets and affairs together, so I still live well below my means, but every now and then I will spend some money. So when I go shopping, I do all my shopping online. I just recently bought a Jimmy Choo backpack. It was worth, I got it on sale. It was $18.99, but now it's like $900. Now they had an option where you can put it on Clara, and Clara is basically layaway where you pay 4 to 5 different payments every 2 weeks. So rather than pay $900, you would pay like $200 and something every 2 weeks. You just put $200 and something down every 2 weeks. If you can't afford to pay the thing, if whatever you're buying, you can't afford to buy it 3 different times, you don't need to buy it. Period. If you buying shit on layaway, you don't need to buy it. All right. Number 5, your credit card limit, your credit card balance is higher than 30% of its limit. So if your limit is $1,000 on your credit card, you got a $1,000 limit on your credit card, all right? And your damn credit card limit, you got the balance at $750. Bro, you living way beyond your means, man. Straight up. You're actually fucking your credit up when you do that. You feel me? So you don't want your credit card limit to go above 30% of your limit. So if you got a credit card limit of $1,000, you shouldn't be going above $300. Okay? Real shit. Number 6, you're late on your bill payments. You got shit due today, but rather than pay the whole thing, you waiting to pay it later. And see, this is what comes when you don't know where your money's going. If you don't know when your money's coming in, you don't know where your money goes at the end of every month, you're gonna be late on shit. You know, if you have a 9 to 5 and you're watching this, you know exactly how much you're gonna make every 2 weeks. So you really should do a financial statement and figure out what things don't make sense in your life. A lot of us use escapism and you might have so much shit on your financial statement that doesn't make any sense. You got all this escapism. You're going out to the movies. You're spending an extra $200 a week on lunch, your happy hour. You got to learn how to cut some shit off. Sometimes, man, I'm gonna tell you this. You got to create an austerity plan. If you're living beyond your means, you got to create an austerity plan. An austerity plan is basically cutting off everything that is not a necessity. Of course, rent's a necessity, food's a necessity, gas, your car, all those things are a necessity. Phone, internet, but Apple Plus and Netflix and all that shit is cheap, but that shit adds up. You feel me? So you got to learn how to, if you behind the 8 ball right now, you got to learn how to get out of the escapism. You feel me? You might be paying, and I don't understand how some people are still doing this. I don't know why certain people even still have DirecTV. You paying $150, $200 a month on cable, and you broke as fuck at the every month. But broke as fuck. Get rid of that shit. Get Hulu. You feel me? Quit trying to escape your broke reality. Real shit. Number 7, you borrow money constantly. You're always borrowing money. I used to do that. I used to borrow money. I'm telling you, man, when I was younger, I used to borrow money from people. And there's nothing worse than having to borrow money from anybody. Of course, I paid all my debts off. But if you have to borrow money constantly, you're doing something wrong. Number 8, you're balling on a budget, man. You, like I said, this is consumer debt. So basically, you got a car that you trying to keep up with the Joneses. You got a car that you can't afford. You buy expensive clothes. You buying designer. You taking trips and shit. You feel me? It's interesting. I just did a consultation with somebody who's looking to get into real estate wholesaling. And this is something I've been into. I own a company called Pacific Home Buyers. And we've been in existence as of November of 2017 and 2018, excuse me. So it'll be 4 years this year. And one thing I do is when I mentor people that buy my course or people that hit me for consultations is I ask them, have you ever done a financial statement? And they're like, 9 times out of 10, they're like, what is that? So I show them how to do it. You know, these are things, if you don't know better, you ain't gonna do better. You know what I mean? These are things that we're hitting from my community. A lot of people in my community just make money. We talk about hustle. And you're running in circles. I don't care if you make $150,000 a year, $200,000 a year. If you do not have a clue of where the money goes at the end of every month, you just check the check at $150,000 a year. So he's telling me about how he still lives at home with his mother. He's 35 years old. Still lives at home with his mom. Never went to college, so there's no student debt there, right? There's no debt. He's driving this, he's paying $650 a month for a car. But yet he only makes $52,000 a year. How does that make sense? He's telling me how he buys designer, Gucci. Every time we get on Zoom, he got on the Gucci t-shirt, $500, $600. He's buying the Hermes belt, $1,000 belts. He's taking trips, taking his girl to fucking, he's taking his girl on trips, man, out of the country and shit. $2,000, $3,000. Doing it on his credit card. Balling on a budget. You doing all this shit, but you still live at your mama house. Feel me? I know some of y'all niggas watching right now. You grown as fuck. You got every goddamn pair of Balenciagas and Jordans and Gucci and all that shit, but you still live at your mama house. Bro, boss the fuck up. Quit balling on a budget. You grown as fuck. The niggas you trying to impress don't give a fuck about you in the first place. All right? Ladies too. You still live at your mama's house. You taking girls trips to Bora Bora and Thailand and shit, and you still live at your mama's house. Corny. Nothing cool about it. You know? The next one is this. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. So basically, you're getting loans to pay debts. Some of y'all get so in over your head on consumer and credit card debt that where you go pull out a loan to pay the bills. You got to increase if you got to go get 2 jobs, that's what you got to do. If you got to start investing in crypto, or I'm not going to say crypto, but start investing in the stock market on the side, or getting a vending machine, vending locations. A good vending location with one machine can make you anywhere from $400 to $600 a month net. Now imagine if you had 5 of those. You can get a good machine for about $1,000 to $1,500. You feel me? You might be a person that only makes you might only make $4,000 a month. Four. But you spend $3,500 of it every month on stupid shit. I'm gonna tell this is for some of y'all that still live at home with your mom. Some of you niggas still live in your mama's basement. You still live in your mama's basement. I know you ain't paying no rent. Quit buying Balenciaga. Quit buying Jordans. Quit trying to keep up with niggas on Instagram who make a lot more money than you that don't know you exist. And start taking that money and start investing in things that can make you money back. You feel me? Let me tell you something. I have over 17, I think I got 18, because I just sold 4 different locations. I have 18 vending locations. All of them average me anywhere from $500 to $600 a month. I started real small. You gotta remember, I lost it all about 5 years ago. I had no money. And what I did is I built myself up from there. So I took $1,000, got my first machine. I started cold calling. My first location was in a motel here in Linwood, LA. That one location makes me $700 net every month. Okay? Took some more money. Got another location. 5 vending locations can pay your rent in most places in this country. Pay your liabilities. You feel me? So quit getting loans to robbing Peter to pay Paul. Quit getting loans. Don't do it. Pay your debt down. You feel me? And this is the last one. A lot of y'all y'all gonna hate me for this. This is reality. I hear this a lot. Y'all say, oh, I don't make enough money. But you got all the Jordans. Your liabilities, your priorities are fucked up. Look, man, if you can't pay your rent with 1 week's pay, I don't give a fuck if it's from assets. I don't care if you do DoorDash. I don't care if you fucking whatever. If you cannot pay your rent with 1 week's pay of income, you're living beyond your means. I know a lot of y'all probably like, oh, that's impossible. It's not impossible. It's not. I just gave you a fucking solution. You know? I gave you a solution. I did. Vending machines. Literally. You can start a vending machine location, a vending business with less than $1,500 to $2,000. But a lot of y'all would rather spend that money on a fucking bag or a trip out of the country just to put it on the gram, and then you come home to your mama house. 30-something years old. Look, I'm saying this to help some people get out of the situation you're in. Trust me, I've been in it. I've been the dude, 27 years old, buying a bunch of Louis Vuitton, buying a bunch of Gucci, buying a bunch of Fendi, trying to impress niggas that I really didn't fuck with like that. I had 0 assets. I didn't know what I didn't know what a financial statement was. My credit card my credit card balance was way higher than 30%. It was more like 60. I was late on bills. I was paying the past due on shit. I was borrowing money. The one thing that I did have is I was making way more than 1 week's pay on my rent. I was doing that. But I was borrowing on a budget, you know. Don't be like how I used to be. Don't be the old Kevin. Don't be 27-year-old Kevin. Be 37-year-old Kevin. Be better than me. Shit. I hope some of y'all are younger than me that are watching this and you're taking this into account. I have a sister that's 18 years old who just moved to Portland. Just moved to Oregon. Going to the University of Oregon. Just got her first apartment. 18 years old, and I'm putting her on game. On game. Because I don't want her to be fucked up out here. I know how colleges are, man. I know that Visa's going to be sending her a credit card in a minute, and they're going to want her to spend that money. I'm going to tell her, don't do it. Keep your credit golden. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, if you found any value in this video, do me a favor. Hit the sub button. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. And I'm going to be dropping beautiful, insightful, game-filled fucking videos every goddamn week. All right? Peace and love.